Guten Tag. Welcome back to Superton Studios. Come inside.
There you go. So we haven't done a studio tour in here in about a year, and a lot's changed. So I thought best to bring you guys back in and show you around, show you what's changed in here. So we're going to start over here at my desk. This is where I do all the recording, and you see I've got these two white Yamaha speakers, mixing speakers, reference speakers, and they are fantastic. I got these at the end of August, and they just give a really clear signal, really clear response, no compression, no junk. It just tells me how it is. So I got all the usual gear on the desk. I got a little cheeky pick box. My friend Tom, when he was smoking, he used this for tobacco, but when he gave up smoking, he gave me the pop box, and now it's just full of guitar picks. Up here I got my interfaces. Got this Audient ID4, which is beautiful. I really feel like Audient are kind of like the Apple of kind of recording gear. You know, there's no complicated buttons or anything. It's really simple for a dummy like me. So I record most of my stuff through here, but when I use the drums, I use the Focusrite Scarlett down here. It's got the 4XLRs on the front plus some jack inputs on the back. And yeah, I do the drums on here because you need multiple microphones. And I got this cheeky little ring light, which I sometimes use for live streams and stuff like that. I'm going to start using it a lot more, actually. I was given this for free by a company that gives stuff away for free for people to review on Amazon. So they sent me this plus a whole bunch of other really weird stuff, which I won't get into right now, but some quirky stuff. But this was the most useful thing they sent me in terms of running the recording studio. Then behind me, obviously, I've got my guitar stand, triple guitar stand. I keep my acoustic guitar Lucille here on the guitar stand at the front, so I can just reach over, grab her, put her back. And then I usually keep an electric guitar here. I got my Gibson Les Paul right here at the back. As you can see, snap string. I've been playing really hard. I need to replace my broken strings. And yeah, I also keep the bass here as well, doing lots of bass recording. So this is Tom's Fender Jazz bass. It's a Geddy Lee signature. It's a beautiful bass. It's been living here since July. It's really made the recordings a lot better. We did use it for a gig a couple of weeks ago. It was sounding fantastic. Behind it, I've got this wonderful lamp. Essentially, I wanted a lamp in here because the overhead light is really harsh, and sometimes when you're recording, you just need a nice gentle light. So sometimes when I do vocal recordings and I just need to get a bit more smooth with it, I'll turn off the overheads, I'll put on my fairy lights, and I'll whack on this lamp as well, and it just really adds to the atmosphere. Moving on, over here we've got this M Audio MIDI keyboard controller. And so, yeah, this is where I'm doing a lot of my MIDI keys playing. We've programmed synthesizers, string sections. When we did the Christmas song, Tom lived on this thing, essentially. So moving along, we've got this big setup over here. If you've been watching my videos for a while, you know that I love the animal hats. I just had them lying about the studio. I didn't have anywhere good to put them, and I had an extra guitar stand. So I thought, do you know what? I'm going to put all the hats on the guitar stand. Tom was overjoyed when he saw his old guitar stand being used for that. Behind that stand is my newest piece of kit, actually. Part of why I got it was because I'm doing lots more electric guitar recording here in the studio, and so I needed an electric guitar amp to get those real crunchy big tones. Plus, I'm playing with my backing band, the Tokyo Sex Workers again, which is awesome. And I wanted to play electric guitar with the band because I've been doing so much electric playing over lockdown. I felt like I've got a feel for it once again. Definitely a worthy investment. Coming further into this section, everything's way more organised than last year. So I've got a whole bunch of microphones here. If you've seen me do a live stream recently, you probably have seen me use this microphone, the Aston Spirit. It's a really beautiful sounding microphone. It was really sharp and really clear at first. It really kind of threw me. It didn't have any grit to it. But I've got used to it. I really love this microphone. We've got the Rode overhead microphones, which are amazing. I use these for when I'm doing drums. These record the cymbals and the toms and the hi-hats and everything. These are really clear and concise. I definitely recommend those. This Rode mic as well. It's the Rode NT1000. Use this for acoustic guitar mainly. It's one of Rob's. It's a fantastic sounding microphone. Yeah, use it for a lot of instruments. Sometimes use it as a room mic for drums. But the most interesting mic here is definitely the King B. again, one of Rob's, and he said, essentially these have kind of gone out of production now, and they're really hard to get your hands on. And it didn't cost them that much, but it's got such a brilliant sound, really bright. When I do ukulele month, I use the King B to record the ukulele. It just really picks it up really well. It's a really fun-looking mic as well. We've mic'd up guitar cabinets. We've done all sorts with this microphone. I really love this mic. Again, going to be sad when it goes. This is the last microphone I actually bought about a year ago. It's an AKG D112, and this is a kick drum mic. And I was using my SM58 for kick drum before, but yeah, now since I got this, my kick's gone from to boom, boom, boom. And I even use it for bass guitar, which we're going to get onto now. With the Tokyo Sex Wheels, Tom didn't have a bass amp rig, and I decided, I will buy, a bass head, because we've got a cabinet. We just need a head. The cabinet down here is this ash down here, and this was donated to the studio by my friend Adam, who runs the London Stone venue in Staines. Really looking forward to playing there again once all this COVID fandango is over. So we've had that, but we didn't have a head. So I bought the TC electronic head. It cost me about £150, but it was going for 200 some places. So I think I really got a bargain. So yeah, really, really good sound. Got a really good mid-range on here, and yeah, combined with this massive cabinet, it's a beast of a sound once you get the bass plugged in. That Fender. Boom. Cool. Right, so that's everything over there. Now we get to my storage corner of the studio. First up, we've got Tom's acoustic bass. It's a beautiful instrument. You don't see a lot of acoustic basses around. I know there's a bit of a stigma against them. We haven't done any recording with it yet. I think Tom wants to restring it first because the strings are very old. But we use it a lot for when we're just doing some rehearsals out in the garden on a sunny day. Next up, we got my Fender Telecaster Deluxe, which I've been using for band stuff recently, and I broke a string at rehearsal. So I got a restringer. Another guitar lives in there, it's not there at the moment. Next up we have a banjo. We don't use the banjo that much. We did record the banjo a little while ago. You ever seen that 70s show episode where Bob's like, you gotta hit him with a banjo? It's so funny. So yeah, we love the banjo. Tom played some banjo in a recording we did a while ago, which sounded great. And then behind that, the case for my Les Paul, case for the acoustic, and then I've got my bass guitar, which has not had a lot of use over the last year since the Fender's been here. Never go into haberdasheries and St Andrews, you walk out of a bass guitar you don't need. You'll have noticed as you've walked around the studio that I've got these large mandalas hanging up everywhere, different colours. I got these for Christmas. Essentially, the MLV, which is the black material you see behind it, the soundproofing material, it makes the room sound great, but it's just kind of ugly to look at. So I wanted some thin material that wasn't really going to affect the acoustics too much, and so yeah, we got the mandalas up. But this mandala's not going to be up here for long, because I've got big plans for this wall. I want to up my video production game, and so I want to get a green screen, because I've never owned a green screen. I've had some experience using it, but I want to get better at it. So we're going to take the mandala down, we're going to take the acoustic foam down, and we're going to cover this entire wall in green screen. Here we come to the drum kit. Not that much has changed on the kit over the last year. I've experimented with tunings on the snare and just tried to get better at drumming over the last year. That's the biggest thing that's changed. But yeah, over the last year, I've been playing way more drums, and because of that, I needed to get some new cymbals, because the cymbals I had were just not strong. So I got this Istanbul crash cymbal, this thin crash cymbal, and it is beautiful. The only other new thing here in the kit really is my splash cymbal. I got a Wuhan 10-inch splash cymbal. I did lots of research online before I bought my cymbals, but yeah, I found a lot of people said this is the best splash cymbal you can get for £50. Right, okay, so this corner of the room has probably had the biggest change since we did the last studio tour. Before, it was just a big pile of junk essentially, and it's far more organised now. So I got this table, which we used to have living in our carport, hidden under a pile of junk we don't even
know it was there until we started taking stuff off of it. We were like, oh, there's a table under there. And I thought, oh, that'd be really cool in the corner of the studio to have a little proper setup where I can do guitar repairs and have tea and coffee and things like that. And so that's what it is. Underneath, I've got some amps. I've got a hamper where I've got just storage stuff essentially. So it's kind of a tidy mess under there. But yeah, having this table here means I can just use the space better. You see, I've got this guitar here. This is Tom's Telecaster. He bought it off our friend Max years ago, and it's kind of just been disrepaired. He left it here for me to kind of do my thing with it. And so yeah, yesterday I came in here and I fixed it up. I added all new bridge saddles. As you can see, I took the old bridge saddles off and installed new ones. I'd never done that before, and I've watched some videos on YouTube about intonation and how to get that right in guitar. So I'm making it sound good. It still needs a little bit of work done on it. Yeah, up here it's a little bit loose. And there's a couple of things wrong with the G string, so I need to twiddle around a bit, but it's a lovely guitar, and these P60 pickups are beastly. Plugged into the Fox, it just makes a hell of a sound. Okay, right, so the last area of the studio is the sofa. Not much has changed here. I don't spend a lot of time sitting here, so whenever I sit on here it feels like the first time. This is where my friends sit, occasionally sleep. I mean, it's not a studio is not a place I come to relax. When I come in here, it's definitely a work environment. It's not a place I come to chill out or do anything. I guess it's the lack of windows. It gives it a claustrophobic environment, especially when the doors are shut. Hopefully next time we do one of these studio tours, there's going to be some really cool new stuff in here for you guys to see. It's been a pleasure having you in my studio. Now I will ask you to leave because I need to start recording my next song.